I got a couple of problems with the phrase women's rights as like a euphemism for abortion. Because, like, first of all, I gotta ask, like, women's rights to what exactly? Because if we're talking about, like, a woman's right to drone strike brown kids with an Xbox controller in order to pay off her student loans, like, I'm not really into that. If we're not talking about a woman's right to commit atrocities and war crimes and violate the consent and autonomy of other people, we're gonna have to be a little bit more specific. If we're talking about like a woman's right to terminate a pregnancy, then hell yeah, I can get behind that shit. I don't know. I personally just think that when it comes to abortion access, if you're advocating for abortion, part of that work is not just, there's the legislative part, getting the policy on the books. There's the economic side, making sure that people can afford it, but there's also the social side. If people do not have like the social ability to have a piece of medical care that they need without facing extreme social backlash, then it's like there is still a severe impingement on their access. I just think it's not very effective to do something like that. I think it's more effective to be direct about what you're talking about and not dance around it. Because I think if you're trying to normalize and destigmatize abortion, avoiding using the word abortion kind of reinforces it as a dirty word, right? It's kind of stigmatizing in practice. Pro-choice has the same problem. If you use the phrase pro-choice, it's a little bit less bad, in my opinion, for gender reasons. Just say what you mean, motherfucker. Abortion is not a bad word. It's not a bad thing. It's not something to be avoided. It's okay to talk about it. And of course, y'all know me. I'm a trans guy who had an abortion when I was a teenager. Like, I think it's a big goddamn problem for somebody to act like this is something that only women need. You can't say that you're both a trans ally and a woman's rights supporter at the same time, because what you're doing is you're either calling somebody like me a woman, you're either misgendering me, which, like, absolutely you are doing that. The other thing you're doing is like pushing me out of the conversation. Saying shit like no uterus, no opinion, you're pushing me out of the conversation. I belong here. I'm somebody who had an abortion. I don't have a uterus anymore because I got rid of that shit, because why would I need one of those? My passage is sacred enough without it, if you know what I'm saying.